Now, data from the Labor Department shows the Great Resignation is actually improving in most U.S. states. 4.3 million Americans quit their jobs in December of 2021, and that is down from a record high of 4.5 million in November. However, the report also shows the Great Resignation worsened in 8 states. Some experts believe many people are still contemplating other employment options, especially those that were not available prior to the pandemic. For more on that, I want to bring in Karen Kimbrough. She's the chief economist at LinkedIn. So Karen, in addition to people who quit their jobs during the pandemic, there are those who have chosen to work remotely from other locations that they find more desirable. How can companies convince these employees to start coming back to the office?
Sure. Well, there's a number of things that companies are starting to do to try to cast that wider net and lure employees, potential employees especially, back from the sidelines. One of those things is they are definitely starting to try to structure job applications that allow for career pauses. So we're seeing an increase in people who are feeling quite comfortable saying, I took a pause in my career, I took 6 months off, a year off, and now I'm looking. And employers are not necessarily penalizing job seekers for that anymore. They're also allowing people to have a lot more flexibility in terms of where they live. They can work remotely, have hybrid, have flexible hours during their day or depending on which day they want to work. And then finally, we're also seeing that employers are doing quite a lot to just make the workplace more of a place that's charged, that feels like you can have a connection, a collaboration with your colleagues. So a place that might be fun to work at.
Well, you know, some experts believe that the best way to keep employees happy going forward is to offer some sort of remote work policy that would have hybrid or flexible options. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. I can tell you the data do not lie. Before the pandemic, we had maybe 1 in every 67 jobs that was remote. Now it's 1 in 6. So we've had literally this abundance of jobs that are remote on our platform. And that's, not even counting for the fact that we have far more jobs on our platform than ever before. In addition to that, nearly a third of all the companies on LinkedIn are considering offering some kind of remote or hybrid flexible work arrangement. And so I think really what it is that people don't miss their commute. They like the flexibility, being able to structure their day. And I do think that when we look forward into what does the future of work look like, it will definitely include a permanent place for remote and hybrid work.
It's very popular these days. So which industries right now currently have the strongest hiring rates, and what's contributing to that?
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. The hiring rates have been really strong in January. So despite some concern about the direction of the economy, I can tell you from what we can see here at LinkedIn in our data in real time in the US, the labor market is very strong. We're seeing people very interested in coming back from the sidelines to work, and we're seeing employers very competitively bidding for these workers. Some of the industries that are really top of mind are recreation and travel, software and IT, and of course, transport and logistics. All that online shopping is creating a lot of roles in transport and logistics.
Yeah, lots of jobs for truck drivers right now. Well, one more question for you. As we prepare for the pandemic to become an endemic, what are some employment and workplace trends that we might start seeing in the coming year?
One of the things that we've keyed on is this idea that employers are going to be looking to structure their sort of job search for candidates in terms of skills. So it won't be so much about necessarily just what educational degree you have, but also what skills can you bring. And they're going to be more flexible about letting people come from different sectors and transition in. I mean, this great resignation that we're all talking about is really a great reshuffle. It's people quitting one job and moving to another. We're seeing a lot of that on our platform. And people are leaving industries and moving into whole new ones. We have seen a lot of people leaving, for example, education and moving into customer service and project management because they require a lot of the same skills, if you think about it. So what we're finding is that this transition happening across America where people are being very open to moving is something that's likely to continue, and we're going to see this increase in labor mobility for quite some time. And I think what it's going to mean for employers is that they're going to have to find ways to retain the talent, make it attractive if it means paying up in wages, making the workplace more enjoyable, or just offering better benefits in terms of flexibility.
It is an evolving workplace these days. Sometimes it seems like it'll never go back entirely to the way that it used to be. Karen Kimbrough, thank you very much for joining us.